Hey guys, hope you guys are having a solid day today. I just want to do a quick trade review on how the week went with me, and I want to talk about it using a comparison of a few of the accounts that I have, Topstep and my Fund of Futures 150K starter account. I also want to touch on some questions that people have asked me around, scalping and kind of what I'm looking for, and also just talking about like, people ask me about like how long does it take for you to become profitable and stuff like that, right? And so I know that's a very popular and common question to ask, and unfortunately, the answer is not the answer that anyone is ever looking for. The answer is it will take however long it needs to take for each individual trader. I think that this is where the psychology of trading is important, and understanding whether or not your strategy is the right strategy, depending how much you've back tested it and so on and so forth, right? I think to every single person, some people figure it out quick, some people take a long time. You're running your own race, right? I don't rush the process, is I guess my best thing to say. Because yeah, I mean, for me, when I was trading futures, for those who've been following me will know between August and November of last year, because I started futures trading as of last August, I blew so many accounts. And this is where I'm going to share that transparency with what people don't understand is that yeah, I'm having some consistent wins now, but I blew a lot of accounts to get here. And so between August and November, I blew probably with MF for my fund of futures, I probably blew north of like 30 accounts with them during that period of time, right? And Tradeify, I think I blew about like 10 or so. I can't remember the exact amount, but fund of futures family, I kind of did the same thing. And with with Top Step, same thing, about north of 10 accounts as well. And yeah, it's excessive. But a part of it also for me is that as I hop from prop firm to prop firm, I'm also learning the different rules and the gamification that comes with each of those platforms as well, right? And I think if anything, in hindsight, as you take a look at it, a lot of times those accounts that are being blown, it's all emotional, right? It's all emotional, psychological, and one of the things I talked about I think it was on Instagram or whatever, but I stopped trading some of the test platforms I was using, like Apex and Take Profit Trader. And again, I know a lot of people find success in those platforms, but for me, I was finding that psychologically it was affecting the way how I was trading my more prominent accounts, right? Because I was having to adapt to different things, whether it's trailing drawdown or 30% rules or what have you, right? Um, I'm learning over my experience that, although yes, I do like to trade a lot of props, I am simmering it down to 2 to 3. And so the problems I use the most now really is my fund of futures, Tradeify, and Topstep. Uh, uh, FFF is just on the back burner now because I've already maxed my cap out there, and so I can't actually trade them anymore. I'm just waiting to be moved live with them at the moment. Um, but you know, I'm sharing this because like I've blown a lot of accounts to get here. And so yes, I profitable? Absolutely I am now. But it took some time. I had to dig myself out of all those blown accounts. And I think a key psychological point for me was that I wasn't focused. Like when I got to November, December, I wasn't focused on trying to make my money back. I was just focused on sharpening my craft, right? And so I started resonating with what was working for me from my options trading days to really focusing on the chart and not just the money and all those type of things, right? And so as soon as I found my rhythm, things started to work out well for me, and I've been consistent pretty much ever since the start of December, and it's been carried on to this year, which has been an amazing feeling, considering it felt like it was just yesterday that I was blowing account after account after account. So I mean, I wish I would have taken it a little bit slower, to be honest. All those times that I like just kept resetting accounts, that was obviously me tilting. And so if you're going through that right now, please take a step back and really assess because obviously going down that path is not the most ideal. Again, I'm more to happy to banter on this topic more in the comment section or maybe on another video, but I really want to get straight into this before the Asia market opens here in the next 10 minutes. Um, so anyway, so that's that. So I want to share with you two specific accounts. So this is my Top Step account. Those who are following me know that just I think it was 2 Fridays ago is where I shorted the market on the NQ and I made $10,000 in that one day. And so you can see that my win rate here is not the greatest, 63%. I'm not saying it's horrible, but it's not the greatest, right? But this account is still profitable, as you can see, because although yes, I had losses, but I held on to my winners very well when they did work in my favor. And so most of the time right now for this account, for example, and this is where like this has been learning for me, by the way, guys. Like my Top Step account is my only account that I have right now that's treated like an expert. Which I mean by that is that I don't have any rules. I can make as much as I want or whatever that's going to look like. Unlike my other ones that have consistency rules, I'm a little bit more conscious about how I trade those, which I'll get to that on the next account. But I want to just show you this is where I'm showing you transparently my learning curve here, right? So when I started this account, I took a lot of trades. You can see here, right? 10 trades. That's a lot. I made $1,000. Fantastic. The following day, I took a few more trades. Now, some of these trades are also me averaging out of trades and what have you, but This was my day where in total I made 10K between the two. This was 9K on shorting the Friday New York session, right? And so from there you can see that I was focused on really just scalping, and a little bit better here. The reason why I did that was because although some people may look at this and be like, okay, I built such a big buffer, a big float, I'm going to go high risk, high size now. And you probably hear the stories all the time. People will get so close to a payout and then they blow their account. I have been through that far too many times to keep allowing that to happen to me. What do I do instead? I focus on paying myself. So the moment I had that set up, I would then made sure that I was getting just enough to make my minimum trading day, and then I withdrew it. So I haven't actually shared this technically on my IG yet because I'm waiting for like the Wise notification to show up to show that the pay's been sent to my account. But I withdrew $5,000 this day already from this trade because I can withdraw up to 50% or 5,000, whichever's less, right, with Topstep. So I already withdrew that. And so you can see really the next day, I'm like, okay, now that I've got my payout, maybe I'm going to take a little bit more risk. And you can see literally the next day, emotionally, I fucked up, right? This is full transparency. I fucked up. I risked, and I didn't risk all this in one trade. I risked multiple trades, right? I was like, okay, 300 here, 600 here, 300 here, 600 here. Next thing you know, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing, right? And I'm down. I was down almost 2K. So I took a break, right? Came back stronger, and made up what I lost. And so what do you think's going through my mind now, right? And I'm sharing the psychology, so hopefully this helps you guys, right? Now that I have that, my account at this point is up, I think 7 grand, I think is what the account balance is after withdrawal. So for me, I'm like, you know what? I should really just be focusing on, I'll focus on getting my scalps in. If I get some really good setups, maybe I'll hold a little bit longer, but let's not get too greedy. Because guess what? If I make my minimum here, and minimum here, guess what? I'm due for another withdrawal. So then I can withdraw another chunk of change, right? And so for me right now, it's about focusing on those payouts, right? For me, so I can get the money back that I've invested into Topstep because, like I said, in every prop firm I've walked into, I've invested money, I've wasted. Oh, sorry, I invested money and I've burned money. I don't want to say wasted, but I burnt money. Now I'm focused on getting myself paid back, which I already have. I mean, with that amount that I got paid out recently, that already puts me in the positive. But me myself, I got to gauge myself and say, okay, with these accounts being so flexible, I got to be conscious of where my success comes in. Only, out of your 5 trading days, you might only have one day where you're going to be able to find a home run of a hitter. Not every day is going to present that. And that's okay. So I'll just be conscious of this. Hopefully, I could be able to share this, this journey again with you, 2 weeks from now and talk about the same account. And hopefully, I didn't do anything stupid with it. But then I can show you that roadmap and the psychology of like the days where I took those bigger trades and then how I made my minimums just so that I can achieve my payout. Because again, what is my objective here? Is to get those payouts with these accounts, right? That's one thing. The other account I want to talk about was my 150K starter account, which I've talked a lot about. You can see here, I started this from January. I have not had a single losing day on this account. And so it doesn't mean I haven't had a losing trade. I haven't had a losing day. Okay. And so you can kind of see in the early stages, I went for some big winners, right? 2K, 5K, 1.5K. I did that to build the buffer. Okay. And I've said this to a few people already, but I build the buffer at the gates so that I have a balance to play with. Once I have that balance, I'm really just looking. I don't want to say base hits, but I'm looking for scalps. I'm not looking for the 1K days anymore. If I can get like a few $100s here and there every single day, that's all I care about because it's going to add up to what I need to get my payout, right? And so as you can kind of see here, after those big float days, I've really just, hovering between, 3 to 600 bucks every single day. And then over here, I buffered up a little bit again, right? Again, market presented it, right? So I don't want to sound like I'm just controlling every single profit day I have, but the day had some really good trading days this day. So I took some of the moves here, right? But most of all, you can see even as we go into February, I'm pretty much focusing on base hits. I had a 2K day here, but again, 300, 300, 300. You can see that, right? I'm only doing this because that's all I need to get my payout. So why would I risk more than I need to? That's the reason why for the My Fund of Futures account, I'm focusing on scalp trades a lot, is because that way I get what I need for the payout. And if you want to look at the stats here, you can see here that my win rate isn't necessarily the greatest because if I'm scalping, I mean, it's in and out, right? Like I could be wrong really quickly, but I could be right as well, really quickly. So that is the difference of me scalping. And you can saw the base hits. That's my win rate for that. But on the month before, I had a higher win rate, right? Again, different markets, different times. I've noticed also in trading these accounts that ever since Donald Trump has taken power, The markets have been a little bit harder for me to read than I'm used to. It doesn't mean that I can't be successful. It just means that I have to be very conscious of the market that I'm trading in right now, right? And so is my edge on the market right now still relevant, right? And I have to be very conscious of that. So, anyways, I'm showing you two different accounts. This, my fund of futures account, as people who follow me will know, I've had four back-to-back 4-week payouts of 3,600 on this account already. And I'm literally one trading day away from another payout. So I'm going to continue to pace myself with this and work away at it. Okay. And so that's that. The last thing I want to talk about, as I mentioned earlier, was what am I looking for? So this is the NQ chart. Right now, we've broken out of a range that I've been watching. And so for me, as long as we hold above this channel here, I am looking for long. So I'm looking for moves to the higher areas here, right? I am expecting some heavy resistance up here now. I don't know where the market's going to open up, but all I know is that right now I'm looking for a move up into that direction from level to level, or I'm looking for a hold above this. Now, if we somehow breach below this channel again, then I would probably watch for a retest of this area for resistance and maybe take a trade back down towards this direction, which is essentially the trade that I've been taking for my shorts in the past. So that's kind of what I'm watching for right now are those areas for up here or down here. So how we move in those directions will really depend upon what price action looks like. And gold is something that I'm getting into now a little bit as well. So right now we took quite a bit of a dive, and I was talking to my buddy Scott the other day here. Unfortunate because it was a very slow moving day, which caused a lot of hesitation because it was Friday before a long weekend. But honestly, in hindsight, it's unfortunate. It actually did hit all of the parameters that I would have normally wanted in a short, and I just didn't take it. So on me, can't let that carry forward. Fresh day, fresh market, right? I'm not looking to chase anything. But what I can say is I am looking for us to test this area. So if gold can hold above this, I would be open to taking longs to the upside. If it continues down, I'll be able to play the relative weakness on the day as well. So right now, that's kind of what I'm looking at. If we manage to breach below, I'd be looking to come back down here to the 28.55. Otherwise, I'm looking to hold the 28.84 and looking to pull our way back to 29.05. So anyways, that's my spiel. Hopefully that answers some questions and provides a little bit of value. I apologize if I sound like I'm trying to rush this, but I am trying to make sure I get here to the market open here. So I'll leave it at that. If there's any questions, drop a comment in the comment box below. Please like the video. It helps me a lot. And subscribe if you haven't so already. If there's anything else that you want me to produce content on, feel free to share with me and I'll try to do my best to do something with it. I am trying to share my trading journey as transparently as possible with the group. So yeah, that's everything. Hopefully have a great weekend and have a great rest of your week coming up here.